In 3, 2, 1, we say the answer together. Whichever you choose.
I choose,
Yeah.
or we choose.
You choose.
Or you think it's better for everybody to choose?
No. You choose
For
personal
yourself.
opinion.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Private. Okay.
Why private?
Why private? For first home in general, I would think to go for private if you have the opportunity, because especially when your first home, it definitely means that you are younger and you want to invest correctly as your first property. It's not that BTO is not a correct investment or whatsoever, but just that in terms of timeline wise and everything, private definitely seems for a better route to go for.
I think, yeah, what she said is correct, but I think BTO is Singaporeans is the standard path to go BTO, and it's never wrong to go a BTO because very unlikely you will fail or not make money in the BTO. I think the only concern, especially in this COVID situation, or even just generally, the timeline wise for BTO, especially for new launch BTO, it's a lot longer, in the sense that yes, construction delays have affected both private and of course HDB as well.
Yeah.
But the concern is now, when you do collect your keys at the end of the construction, when you TOPs, you then have to wait the standard 5 years for MOP.
For
And I think even for those who are affected by the prime location housing, it might take even longer by that.
Yep.
And I think if let's say we have to put in perspective, if let's say you are 25 this year, you are happily going to get engaged, going to get a BTO, you do successfully get your BTO. I think that's the first challenge, that you do actually get the BTO. When you do get your BTO, timeline for construction wise, it used to take about 3 years. It takes about 4 to 5 years now. So you expect to collect keys when you are about 30.
Yep.
And when you want to finish your minimum occupancy period of MOP, you will then be 35 before you can actually move on to either a private condo or move to a different location that you prefer. And I think the timeline is the concern, that why I think that's, for me personally, why I decided to choose private instead. Do you have any other things of why private in terms of this timeline wise?
Of course, for private, I think the main so-called concern would definitely be down payment. It's always a down payment. I would say majority of people have no issues with their loan. More or less, most of the time it's because of the down payment issue, where it's quite substantial, 25%. And if you want to add in stamp duty, that's in total you add up, that's 29% down payment, cash and CPF. So of course, if your CPF is not enough to top up, you have to use cash. So as an age of let's say 25, would you have 200 over 1,000 cash CPF lying around? Because you just started work, you probably may not have a lot of CPF. And unless, nowadays different lah, because people play crypto, right? So investment, so they may have a lot of cash, but in general, people who doesn't invest or haven't get a chance to explore this kind of option, they may not have the down payment. So I think, for private, just a little bit on the downside would be the down payment part.
Yeah, I do agree that affordability is one of the biggest key concerns,
Correct.
especially when you are at that young age. You probably will not be able to not afford your loan.
Yep.
Definitely that is not an issue to you. More or less is the starting down payment wise. I think to add on to this, right, in light of the current situation, I think it's very important now that people want to have some backup plan, alternative just in case. And I think one of the downsides, I would say, of a BTO is then that eventually, even when you collect your keys, you are unable to rent out your unit fully.
Yeah.
Whereas for a private property, any point in time, if let's say you decided when you collect your keys, you are not financially in the comfortable position for you to actually move in, you can then actually continue to stay with your parents and you can rent out that unit. There's no hard and fast rule that you cannot.
Yeah.
Whereas HDB, you're definitely not able to. You only can do room rentals just to cover what you need to.